Hello, Princess, and good evening. From Night 5 aboard Wonder Woman of the Seas, we are back at the Mason Jar for the dinner service. I had originally intended to come back for brunch. There was one item I really wanted to try, but I was happy to see that it is actually an appetizer during the dinner service, so I guess it kind of all worked out. It's nice and early in the evening. Looking forward to having some fun later, but right now we are, I guess, here for major round 2 at the Mason Jar. I figured I would come back, try some more things. When I was on Symphony a couple years ago, I did try every restaurant twice just to get like the full experience. So we're gonna do that again tonight. Lots of fun things to try. Gonna start off with a cocktail and well, off to the races. Wait, no, I didn't get that cocktail, so scratch that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Okay, time to move on. Starting off the dinner service is the fresh from the oven. It is a buttermilk biscuit and a jalapeno cornbread. Well, had the jalapeno cornbread at brunch, and it is served with Cajun and whipped honey butter. I will say the fresh from the oven name is not as creative as the brunch name, which was like what was it? Someone remind me. And accompanying the biscuit and cornbread is a Mississippi Moonlight. It is Old Smoky Blackberry Moonshine with fresh blackberries and topped with lemonade. Look at that. So far, we are off to a great start for the evening. As for the breads, the whipped honey butter is incredible. I mean, it really is a honey butter. They did not spare the honey one bit. So it's really, really good. The pimento is it pimento? The Cajun whipped butter, I think, is the same as brunch, so it's really good. The best pairing, though, is the honey butter with the cornbread and the Cajun butter with the biscuit. That's what I've been doing. That's worked out very well. The moonshine is, the Mississippi Moonlight is a terrific afternoon drink. It's very sweet, very fruity, and I don't know if they designed it that way to hide the moonshine, or whether there's just not a whole lot in it. Can't really tell. I just have had a couple sips, so either way, it's it's a very refreshing afternoon beverage. So hopefully the next one, I'll probably have one more, will be a much heartier evening beverage. I'll have to ask for a good selection. Although they do have a version of a Manhattan, which it's always a good standby. Appetizer number 1 is here, and these are the Blueberry Johnny Cakes. They are savory cornmeal flapjacks slathered with barbecue pulled pork, crispy chicken skin, ooh, that chicken skin again, and cool coleslaw. Oh boy, this was my alternate for brunch, so I'm glad they have it on the menu tonight as an appetizer. Yummy. The Blueberry Johnny Cakes were fantastic. Very well put together, very well balanced, nothing overpowering. The barbecue pulled pork was nice and tender, a good sweet barbecue sauce. The only thing I'll say is the coleslaw is suspiciously like what I got at Boardwalk Doghouse yesterday. So, I don't know, there may be a little too much synergy going on here, but do not let that detract you. This is a definite buy, something that I'm very, very glad I got, and would be on the rotation for next time, definitely. Next up is the crab beignets. They are snow crab fritters dusted with Old Bay, yum, and creamy lump crab dip on the side. Alrighty then, the crab beignets. The beignets themselves were very light and fluffy and perfectly prepared. The crab dip was really, really good. So, I liked it overall. It was a perfectly fine dish. However, I would actually just change the focus, because like the beignets were good, but the crab kind of gets lost in them. I mean, crab is a very light meat, very light flavor. I would call it, creamy crab dip with beignets on the side. I think that would be a much better description, because once I ran out of the crab dip, I didn't really feel like eating the rest of the beignets. So, other than the name, it was really, really good. Change the focus. That's what I'm saying. Focus on the dip and not the beignets. I'm having trouble choosing a main that is on theme and that I really, really want to try. So to delay the inevitable, I have ordered the fried green tomatoes, which are thick cut and cornmeal crusted with sweet bacon jam and spicy remoulade for dipping. The fried green tomatoes, okay, those were good. I don't order them that much because we don't really see it all that often in Miami, and I never really know what to expect. And I think they've always been pretty different, but I really like the way they did them here. The cornmeal breading was fried perfectly, but the tomato inside was warm and intact. And that's opposed to some fried green tomatoes that I've had where they're prepared more like onion rings with the tomato like cooked all the way through. So I think I prefer this a little bit better because the tomato still had that like nice firmness and freshness and flavor, whereas when it's cooked all the way through, it's just different. I think the breading is the outstanding part there. So I really liked the way they did it. The bacon jam was good. It's not really a jam. It was bacon with caramelized onions, and the spicy remoulade was also really good. So if you are a fan of fried green tomatoes, definitely give this one a try and see where it lands on your spectrum. This is a far from Manhattan, exactly where everyone should be from Manhattan. It is brown sugar bourbon, Angostura bitters, finished with a slice of candied bacon. Yeah, that far from Manhattan is great. It is sweeter than most Manhattans, which normally I wouldn't like, but using the brown sugar, the molassesy flavor comes through quite nicely. So yes, it is a very, very delicious treat and delicious difference from the mainstream Manhattan. This is shrimp and grits. It is Cajun rubbed tiger shrimp over stone ground yellow grits, folded with smoky cheddar, topped with crispy bacon and chives. All right, so this is kind of a risky dish. I have ordered shrimp and grits in various forms from a lot of places, and I'm frequently disappointed. So, you know what? Let's roll a dice, and maybe the mason jar can pull it off, and I will have a good shrimp and grits. So far they've been doing good. So, you know what? I'm rooting for them. The shrimp and grits were impressively good, and I say that having tried it a number of times, and like I said, always been disappointed, but they actually pulled it off. That was great, just great. I think I made the right choice. In fact, I'm very sure I made the right choice. The flavors were definitely Cajun. They were assertive, but not like aggressive or overbearing. The shrimp was like, it was nice and firm and actually tasted like shrimp without being weird. And the grits were, they had that nice and thick, almost not really chewy consistency, but with the cheddar in there, it all worked out brilliantly, and I could not be happier with that choice. So, yes, what a way to end. Well, actually, we're not over. We do actually have dessert coming, so, oh boy. All right, well, can they keep it up? That's a great question. I think so. It's time for dessert. And I have chosen the chocolate pecan pie. It is rich enough to make you blush with a bourbon chocolate and caramelized pecan filling, a buttery crust, and crumbled toffee bar. And to accompany the pie, I have a scoop of vanilla ice cream and a scoop of bacon maple ice cream. And with a shocking crash and burn right before the finish line. The chocolate pecan pie was just not good. It's really hard to explain, but the pecans, they didn't survive. It felt like they'd been in there for a long time. The chocolate filling was just unsubstantial, and the whole thing was just some weird to chew on mess, and I send it back because no. Dessert attempt number 2 is twice fried Oreos. They are funnel cake battered, deep fried and sizzling hot, dusted with powdered sugar, plus a bourbon sauce for dipping. And Oreos to the rescue. I know it's a nice, safe choice. You can't really go wrong with deep fried Oreos. And they really uncovered. They covered the disaster of the pecan pie. So definitely get the ice cream to go along with the chocolate sauce. The chocolate sauce in the Oreo is a bit intense. So, yeah, I actually prefer them better with the ice creams. And that's it. I am done. I am done. So, time for the bill, and well, we'll close it out after that. And the band is about to start, which is my cue to leave. And that was my dinner experience at the Mason Jar, Royal Caribbean's newest dining venue here on Wonder Woman of the Seas. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is what it should always be like, with the exception of that really weird chocolate pecan pie. Just don't. Everything was great. Well, actually, you know, the only other minor exception was the strange beignets, the crab beignets, but just swapping the title on the menu would fix that problem very, very quickly. So, I'm glad I came. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and it was, in fact, worth, well, for what I got, worth the $40 cover charge. I mean, I had like 3 appetizers, the main, the dessert. I could have probably gotten more, but I am more than satisfied. So, I just want to say I was reluctant to come by because of the experience at brunch, especially with Mima's chicken, which is ostensibly their signature dish. It appears in like 4 different items, and that just was not good. And I was thinking, you know, if they can't get their signature dish right, does it really mean, well, what does that really mean for everything else? Well, don't get the signature dish. That's pretty much all I have to say. Everything else I had was quite good. So, Mason Jar, a definite buy, and you know what? Little things like weird chocolate pecan pie and just bland dough remind me of how much I am so very thankful for my problems.